Preseason football is finally heating up, but are we actually about to witness the starters sit out and let the hungry underdogs take over the entire show? The Chicago Bears are invading Cincinnati to clash with the Bengals, and the tension surrounding roster spots is reaching an absolute boiling point. If you want the most ruthless, down-to-the-wire gridiron breakdowns every single week, make sure to hit that like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe right now. With kickoff looming this Saturday night, the biggest storyline swirling around both camps is just how much action the main guys are actually going to see. Head coach Zach Taylor made it pretty clear before the physical joint session that the Bengals plan to keep their frontline starters on ice. On the other side, Ben Johnson echoed that exact same philosophy, showing he and Taylor see eye to eye on where the real trench work belongs. They traded blows and got their high-intensity work done during Thursday's joint practice, and after keeping the first-team unit off the field in the opening exhibition, do we really expect Chicago to risk their superstars under the lights on Saturday? The answer is almost certainly no, but that does not mean this game lacks high stakes. For the fringe guys fighting for their NFL lives, this is Game 7 of the NBA Finals. There are critical starting spots and rotational roles that are desperately begging for someone to step up and claim them before the regular season begins. Take the left tackle position, for instance. Braxton Jones is in the driver's seat to lock down that blindside role permanently. He has strung together a fully healthy week of practice, outplaying his competition when the bullets were flying on Thursday. When you look across the rest of the depth chart, Kieran Amegadjie and Jedrick Wills practically played themselves out of the left tackle conversation after rough showings last week, getting kicked over to right tackle duties. Meanwhile, Theo Benedict has shown he can move bodies in the run game, but his pass protection against Cincinnati's edge rushers left plenty to be desired. Braxton Jones missed late-season time in 2024 and missed the preseason opener, so he needs this live game action. If Jones steps on the field for 2 or 3 clean series, protects the pocket, and walks away completely healthy, this competition is officially over. The offensive line needs chemistry, and locking him in allows the starting 5 to build real cohesion before Week 1. Ozzy Trapilo might factor into the mix down the road once he is fully up to speed, but right now, the job belongs to Braxton if he just takes care of business. Then you look at the explosive skill players getting back on the turf. Zavon Thomas is finally healthy after missing over a week of camp, and his presence immediately injected electricity into Thursday's work, highlighted by a red zone touchdown grab from Case Keenum. Keenum looks poised to run the offense for the first half before handing the reins over to Miller Moss in the second half. Thomas is an electric playmaker who can flip field position in the blink of an eye. We need to see him unleashed not just within the offensive scheme during the first 2 quarters, but as a dangerous weapon on both kickoff and punt return units. His sheer speed changes how defensive coordinators call games. Now, it is time for our question of the day, and I want every single one of you to drop your unfiltered take in the comments right now. Which bubble player on this roster has the most to lose if they lay an egg against Cincinnati this Saturday? Drop your name down below and make your case. While the offense sorts out its playmakers, let's talk about the absolute menace making noise on the defensive line. Jamri Chroma exploded onto everybody's radar during the exhibition opener with an utterly dominant tape. He racked up 6 total tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and a staggering 6 pressures against Cleveland, leading the entire NFL in total pressures for Week 1 of the preseason. To put that into perspective, Chroma spent the 2024 and 2025 seasons grinding on the practice squad, virtually invisible in main roster projections coming into training camp. Now, Chicago did bring in veteran edge presence Marcus Davenport, which makes the defensive end room crowded and cutthroat. Is Chroma a lock for the final 53 yet? Probably not quite. But if he goes out against the Bengals, wrecks their offensive game plan again, and carries that exact same violent momentum into next week's joint sessions against the Tennessee Titans, he will force this coaching staff into making an agonizing roster cut. Over in the secondary, the battle at the nickel position is turning into pure chaos with injuries and position flexing. Jalen Jones has been sidelined for over a week, and Cam Lewis is pulling double duty between nickel and safety depending on how the back end shakes out next to rookie safety D'Angelo Thiemann. That opened the door for Malik Muhammad, the hard-nosed rookie defensive back out of Texas, who looked phenomenal diagnosing plays in space last week. He blew up a wide receiver screen, knifed straight between two pulling offensive linemen, and delivered a punishing tackle. With Kyler Gordon's availability in question, Muhammad is making a ferocious push to start in the slot. He famously stated he did not come into this league to sit on the bench, and his relentless pursuit on film is backing up every single word. The wide receiver room is another all-out war as guys scramble for that coveted sixth receiver spot. Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Zavon Thomas, Khalif Raymond, and Jalen Walker look locked into their roles. If the front office keeps 6 wideouts, who earns that golden ticket? Caden Davis has been the hottest name in camp, making splash plays left and right. But you cannot sleep on Scotty Miller's veteran track record, Maurice Alexander's deep system familiarity from his time in Detroit, Ray McLeod's proven speed and return pedigree, or J.P. Richardson's consistent camp reps. Right now, Davis holds the pole position based on sheer performance, but one monster game on Saturday from any of these challengers could completely flip the coach's depth chart upside down. In the backfield, the third running back spot is just as volatile. With Kyle Monangai sidelined and DeAndre Swift expected to sit alongside the rest of the starters, the spotlight shifts to Salvon Ahmed, Roscoe Johnson, and Britton Brown. Brown provided one of the most violent highlights of the entire week during red zone drills, plowing into a defender so hard he literally dislodged the Guardian cap right off the helmet. Brown has always been a punishing, downhill runner, especially when facing Cincinnati, but Ahmed's explosive emergence and Johnson's steady versatility mean Brown has to dominate his touches on Saturday to stay alive in this race. As for the quarterback room, Miller Moss will likely get 2 full quarters of action to steady the ship after an erratic debut. While the path to the 53-man roster is essentially closed with Tyson Bagent dealing with a minor ding, Moss is playing for a practice squad spot and his future NFL tape. Add in intriguing young rookies like Sam Roush, center Logan Jones, and defensive lineman Jordan Vandenberg, who generated 3 pressures on just 15 pass rush snaps last week for an elite 20% win rate, and you have a high-energy showdown where every snap matters. Lock in your score predictions right now in the comments. Let us know who walks away with the victory on Saturday, and make sure those notification bells are ringing so you do not miss a single snap of the action.